Hello students, our next topic is electric potential due to system of charges. Now the first topic was potential due to point charge, second topic was the potential due to dipole. We have two source charges. Now we have potential or electric potential due to system of charges. It is simply like a superposition principle. In a system we have n charges. Now the source is say q1, so whose position vector is r1, q2 position vector r2, qn position vector rn, and I have to find out the potential say at point P whose position vector is r. So now I have to find out potential at point P. For a system of charges, the potential is easy to find out because it is a scalar quantity. So individually we find out the potential at P, that is potential at P due to Q1, then potential at P due to Q2, potential at P due to Qn, and you have to simply do the algebraic summation because the potential is a scalar quantity. So V1 is the potential at P due to Q1. So it will be K Q1. Now in the denominator it should be distance between test and source. So distance, this is our test charge, this is your source. So this distance will be written as R1P. Distance of point P from 1. So R1P. Similarly, potential at P due to Q2. So K Q2 upon distance between 2 and P, that is R2P. So this will be the distance. Similarly, this distance will be R N P and this distance is R2P. So similarly V3 K Q3 R3P and dash 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 Vn will be equal to K Qn upon R N P. Now since the potential is a scalar quantity, you simply do the algebraic summation. So potential at point P is Vp is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 dash 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 plus Vn. We substitute all the values. This is equal to K, which is common. So Q1 upon R1P plus Q2 upon R2P plus dash 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 plus Qn upon Rnp. Now this can be written as the algebraic sum, that is summation sign K Qi Ri P, where I is running from 1 to n. So this is the electric potential at point P due to system of charges. So you have to apply the formula for a point charge, find out the potential at point P due to individual charges and do the algebraic summation. You will get the total potential at point P. Now next is electric potential due to spherical shell. Now in chapter 1 we found the electric field intensity due to spherical shell. Spherical shell means a hollow sphere. Now the charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of a spherical shell of radius capital R. Now if you remember, this entire charge, the Q amount of charge, was assumed to be concentrated at its center, and the electric field intensity was, we have the 3 points, outside, inside the electric field intensity was 0, and on the surface. Now we have to find out electric potential due to spherical shell. The field lines are radially outward. So potential means you have to bring a test charge, a unit positive charge, from infinity to a point in the field. Now this point may be outside the spherical shell or inside or on the surface. Again we have a 3 case. For outside, suppose the point P is at a distance R. So number 1, outside, that is R is greater than the capital R. Now if we have to do the method, first we write down the electric field intensity. So electric field intensity at point P is kq upon r square, that is the entire charge was assumed to be concentrated at its center. Now if I want to find out the potential at point P, it should be the minus integration of E dot dr and from infinity to point P. If we have to do a method, now 1 upon r square integration will be minus 1 by r. So here, instead of doing this integration, here the charge Q, capital Q, is assumed to be concentrated at center, and if it is assumed to be concentrated at center, it becomes a point charge Q. Now our point P is at a distance R. So this is similar to the potential at point P due to the point charge. So the potential at P will become kq by R. This is for R greater than R. So instead of doing this method, you simply assume the entire charge is assumed to be concentrated at center, and the theory becomes similar to potential due to point charge, and we have derived potential due to point charge theory earlier. So for answer comes out to kq by R. So this is the work required to be done by the external field to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to a point P in the field of this hollow sphere or a spherical shell. Now on the surface, so if I come to this surface, I simply substitute small r is equal to capital R. So V surface will be simply equal to kq by capital R. So this is the potential on the surface of a spherical shell. Third part, inside. Now this point is an interesting point because when I go inside this spherical shell, the electric field intensity inside it is 0. So I will not do any work against the field because the field is absent. But I have to come from outside, say from this point infinity to inside. I have to go inside the hollow sphere. So at least the field exists up to the surface. Because when I come from infinity to a surface, I have to do this much work. So from infinity to surface, this much work is done. Now I went inside. So V inside or V total will be infinity to surface, that is kq by R. and inside the field is 0. So no work is done, that is work done is 0. So if I do the summation, it becomes kq by r up to the surface, and inside there is no work done, 0 work done against the field. So V inside is equal to k q by r. So r is equal to r. So this is r equal to r. Here even this is less than or equal to r. So if you are inside the hollow sphere or on the surface, same amount of work has to be done. Inside the no work is done. So if capital R is equal to 5 centimeters say, and you have to find out the potential, say small r given is 1 centimeter. So inside this 1 centimeter is inside this 5 centimeter, that is a hollow sphere. Still the formula will become kq upon 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So whether you are on the surface or inside the hollow sphere, the work done remain same or the potential remain same. At the center, if I am at the center, then also the potential will be kq by capital R. So from center to the surface, the potential remains constant. On the surface, the value is maximum, and then it is inversely proportional to 1 upon r. So if we plot a graph for potential versus distance of a point P from the center, the graph becomes, this will be the straight line, that is potential is constant, this is inside. This point is R is equal to capital R, and then the potential is V is inversely proportional to R. So whether the point P is 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter till 5 centimeter, the formula will remain kq upon 5 centimeter. Beyond 5 centimeter, it becomes, suppose it says the radius of a hollow sphere is 5 centimeter. Find the potential at a point 6 centimeter from the center of a hollow sphere. So kq by kq by 6 centimeter. So inside the potential remains constant, less than 5 centimeter, the potential formula remains same, and the reason is simple. Inside the hollow sphere, the electric field is 0, so you have to spend energy till we reach to the surface, and the energy spent or the work done against the field till we reach the surface is kq by capital R, and then inside it becomes 0. So kq by R plus 0. So it comes out to be kq by R. So you have to remember potential inside the hollow sphere is same as the potential on its surface, and the graph is like this. This is electric potential due to spherical shell. Now let us say example 2.2. The two charges are given, 3 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb and minus 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb. One is positive charge, one is negative charge, separated by 15 centimeter. The question is, at what point on the line joining the two charges is the electric potential 0? So in the first chapter, we found a point where the electric field was 0. Now if there is no electric field, it may be possible that the potential is 0 at that point. There are two possibilities. If the electric field is 0, we will say potential may be constant or the potential may be 0. Now if we have to find out the potential to be 0, there are two possibilities. In the case of electric field, there was only one possibility. We have three situations in if you have to find out the electric field to be 0, it should be outside 3, outside -2, or in between, depending on the charges. That was in chapter number 1 we have seen, where the third charge should be placed so that the electric field intensity is 0. Suppose I want to find out a point where the electric field intensity is 0. So I may keep a charge here, test charge. If I keep a test charge here, this positive charge will repel it and this negative charge will attract it. So at this point, both the field are in opposite direction, but the magnitude of this charge is more, so repulsion will be more as compared to the attraction. So the possibility of getting electric field 0 at this point is it is not possible. Now if I take a point in between, suppose I keep this point here, it will repel and this charge will attract. Both the field are in the same direction. So again there is no possibility of getting 0 electric field. We come to this point. If we keep a test charge here, it will repel it and this will attract it. Since both the field are in opposite direction, there is a possibility of getting electric field 0. Here also the field are in opposite direction, here also. But here the repulsive force is more. Here, to decrease that repulsive force, we have moved away from it. So we get a electric field intensity 0 near a charge whose magnitude is less. Always if two charges have a opposite polarity, one is plus and one is minus, you will always get an electric field intensity outside the charge having smaller magnitude. So this magnitude is 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb. So this is one point where the electric field is 0. So one possibility of getting the potential 0 is the same point where we get a electric field 0. There is no electric field at this point. And if there is no electric field at this point, then the work done to move a unit positive charge from infinity to a point against the field, but there is no field. So there is a possibility of getting a potential 0 where the electric field is 0. Now it is not necessary that if electric field is 0, the potential is also 0. We will discuss about this. It may be possible that the potential is constant. So if the potential is constant, then also we have an electric field to be 0, as we have seen in the spherical shell. Inside this spherical shell, the potential was constant, that is same as that of surface, but the electric field was 0. So here, one point of the potential, you will always get 2 points for a potential to be 0. One point will be a point where electric field intensity is 0. So let us assume the electric field intensity is 0 at point P. Now if we assume this is a origin, let this point be x centimeter from the origin. You may take this also as a x. So whatever answer you get, you add plus 15 centimeter. So one is, we assume Q1 to be at origin. Also potential at infinity is 0. We have to always mention a reference point. So we are coming from outside to the field of this two charge. So we assume at infinity the potential is 0. That is our reference point. Point P is x centimeter from origin O. Now the potential at point P, there are two sources, Q1 and Q2. So potential is very easy, algebraically it can be added. Find the potential at P due to Q1, potential at P due to Q2, then do the summation and it is given the potential should be 0 at this point. Now Vp is equal to V naught plus Va. So potential at point P is equal to potential at P due to the charge at origin, or you say Q1, V1 or V2 or Va. So this will be equal to potential at point P due to Q1. So K source upon distance between test and source, that is X, plus this distance. So if this is X, this becomes 15 minus X. It becomes X minus 15. So this entire distance is X, this is 15, so it becomes X minus 15. So it will be K source upon distance between test and source, X minus 15. Now it is given that the potential, or because the electric field is 0, the potential is 0 at this point. Therefore, 0 is equal to K common, 0 upon K is gone, Q1 3 into 10 raised to minus 8 upon X, minus 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 upon X minus 15. Therefore, 3 upon X is equal to 2 upon X minus 15. 10 raised to minus 8 common and it is gone. Therefore, 3x minus 45 is equal to 2x, and therefore x is equal to 45 centimeter. So the potential is 0, 45 centimeter from positive charge. Positive charge. So it is 45 centimeter away from positive charge, say along the x-axis. Now where the another point, there is a point where the potential is 0, and that point is where we will spend the energy against the field. So you have to find out the point where we have the field, and suppose the field at that point is maximum, you have to spend that much amount of energy so that potential becomes 0. What is potential? Potential is work done to move a unit positive charge from infinity to that point. And to find out the potential, first we need to find out the intensity at that point. Then we do the integration of that electric field intensity. So if there is electric field intensity at a point, that much work we do against the field. So that point where the field is non-zero is in between this. So let that point is P dash, and again the distance is X dash. You check this. If I keep a test charge here, this positive charge will repel it and this negative charge will attract it. So if the resultant electric field intensity is from Q1 to Q2. Now I want the potential to be 0. So the work done will be against the field, because potential means work done to move a unit positive charge from infinity to a point. So from infinity, if I keep a test charge here and leave it free, then it will move towards A. But I need a potential to be 0. So I will do the work. The work will be done by the external force against this field. So another point will be between these two charges. So let, now we keep this theory. So one is 45 centimeter from positive charge, and now new distance is X dash centimeter. So let P dash be X dash centimeter from origin. Then Vp dash is equal to again Vo plus Va. That is a potential at P dash due to Q1, potential at P dash due to A. So this is again K source upon distance between test and source, that is X dash, plus K source upon this distance. So this entire is 15. This is X dash. So this distance becomes 15 minus X dash. Now the potential is 0. So K is gone again. Again 3 into 10 raised to minus 8 minus 2. So it becomes 3 upon X dash is equal to 2 upon 15 minus X dash. Therefore, 45 minus 3X dash is equal to 2X dash. Therefore, 5X dash is equal to 45. X dash is equal to 9 centimeter away from positive charge. So it is 9 centimeter away from positive charge towards the negative charge or along the x-axis. So potential is 0 at 2 points. Electric field intensity in such case is 0 at 1 point. So 1 point the potential is 0 is a point where the electric field intensity is 0. And 1 point is where there is an electric field intensity, the resultant electric field intensity is there, and you do the work against that field so that the potential becomes 0. So if I need to keep a test charge 9 centimeter from this Q1, I have to spend some energy, otherwise that test charge will be moved from it will be moving from Q1 to Q2. So if I don't want that test charge to move from Q1 to Q2, I will be doing the work against the electric field. So this is example number 2. Now in exercise, the question 1, which is the same sum, instead of 3 into 10 raised to minus 8, we have 5 into 10 raised to minus 8. Instead of minus 2, you have minus 3 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb. Instead of this distance 15 centimeter, the distance is 16 centimeter. So you complete this homework, do the first sum of the exercise. It is similar to our example number 2. Now let us see question number 2 of exercise. Here we have a regular hexagonal having charge Q equal to 5 microcoulomb at each vertex. So a regular hexagonal is given and the side of the regular hexagonal is 10 centimeter. We have to find out the potential at the center. So there are 6 sources. So we will find out potential at center due to 1, potential at center due to 2, potential at center due to 3. Like this, we have a 6 source charges. Now when we talk about a regular hexagonal, it is 6 equilateral triangles are there. So one triangle is BOC, COD, DOE, FOE. Like this, you have a 6 equilateral triangles, because it is a regular hexagonal. Now if it is a regular hexagonal, the distance between the vertex, each vertex and the center is same. Let the distance be R. So let R be distance between center O and each vertex of regular hexagon. So regular hexagonal is given. So we have 6 equilateral triangles. Now we will find out the potential at O is equal to potential at O due to A plus B plus C D E F. Now it is clear that distance of each vertex is same. Also the charge are identical. So the total potential, instead of writing VA plus VB plus VC plus VD, we directly write 6 times the potential at center due to each vertex. So that is K source upon distance between test and source. So now we substitute these values. Because it is an equilateral triangle, this, if this is 10 centimeter and it is an equilateral triangle, so AB is equal to BO is equal to OA. So R is also equal to the 10 centimeter. Here 6 equilateral triangle meet at O. So R is also equal to 10 centimeter. Therefore, potential is equal to 6 into 9 into 10 raised to 9 into 5 microcoulomb, that is 5 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon 10 centimeter, that is 10 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So this will be equal to, so 9 5s are, that is 45 into 6, and you do this power, and that much volt is the potential at the center. So do this calculation. It is 45 multiplied by 6 and other are the multiple and some multiples of the 10. So this much volt or this much joule per coulomb is required to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to a point at the center. Here the source are 6. So this is all about the electric potentials. So one part of the chapter is over, where we have studied about the potential energy and potential. Then we took the topics of potential, potential due to point charge, potential due to dipole, potential due to system of charges, and we found the potential, how the potential is 0 if we have a two system of charges. We found potential due to spherical shell. You have to remember, in chapter 1 we did 4 applications. Fourth application was the electric field due to sphere, solid sphere. That solid sphere is non-conducting. If you have a conducting sphere or spherical shell, the derivations remain same. You have to remember this. Again, in the first chapter we did 4 application of Gauss law. 3 were in the book. One was electric field due to infinite plane sheet, electric field due to infinitely long charged wire. One was electric field intensity due to spherical shell. Spherical shell and the conducting sphere, solid conducting sphere, the expressions remain same. And what we did extra, that was electric field intensity due to solid sphere. And if you remember, the electric field inside the solid sphere was non-zero, and that E was proportional to small r. Outside it was same. So that is the electric field intensity due to non-conducting sphere. So when we did today the electric potential for a hollow sphere or a spherical shell, it is similar. The expression is applicable for the conducting sphere also. So conducting sphere, conducting solid sphere and hollow sphere are same thing. Non-conducting solid sphere, we have E is proportional to R, and we will see what will be the electric potential for a solid non-conducting sphere as an extra exercise which is not given in our course or in our book. So we wind up our first portion of the potential in this lecture. In the next lecture we will come with a new concept or a new topic which will be little bit different from this concept of potential. So we have different concepts. We will again come to the potential energy, and then the second part of the chapter is capacitor. So we complete our chapter for today. Have a good day.